So it's here, the dfc500. We've all been waiting for it, and I've been lucky enough to use it on a job. Funny enough that I was using the original df500 on, so it's been nice to have the comparisons of the two machines on the same processes. So I'm just going to talk through some of the advantages of having the newer version, and I'll tell you about how amazing the old version is, which I've got a few of them and we still love it. So a little talk through of why I use the festool tools in general, but also why I love the cordless version. And yeah, I'm going to talk through it and hope you enjoy the video. Right, so let's get it out of the sustainer. So this is the basic version. So it just comes with a battery and this guide plate. So basically this attaches to this surface area, which is the undercarriage. This just gives you a bit more support when you've got the domino in the vertical position. I like to use this quite a lot. So it just basically bolts onto there, and it's going to give you, especially on edge of a board, you can feel a slight tip, but if you've got this attachment on there, you're just going to have a lot more support. So that's obviously what's in the box of the basic version. Right, so let's talk about some of the key features which you can see straight away. So the biggest, I'd say, improvement is the design, the handle. I'm a big fan of the df700. It's just got a perfect grip, nice balance, and they've brought it to the df500. Like I say, I've been doing multiple cuts on my latest job with the original df500, and I've been using this as well. And I can honestly say that this is so much more comfortable. Just doing them repeat cuts, I feel like you've just got plenty of grip on the handle. It just feels so much more balanced. It feels nice. So that is probably my, talking about my favorite part of the machine straight away, and that would be the handle. Right, so the second key feature I'd like to talk about is the fact that it's now cordless. A cordless domino is incredible. So it's now a lot more flexible. You can take it to site, you can use it in the workshop. It's one less cable to knock around. And like people will ask, obviously, how will it perform doing multiple cuts? I put it to a big test last week and this week doing, hundreds of cuts, and I can really say that the battery performs so well. Like I say, the batteries can go right up to 8 amp now, so you can really get plenty of performance from one battery. So yeah, the fact that it gives you a lot more flexibility, the fact that you can take it to site, you can use it in the workshop, and I think most power tools nowadays are going to be cordless. So I think people just need to accept that not everything's going to be corded anymore. So, but yeah, so my impressions of the battery power and the consistency and the longevity of the battery has been very good so far. So the next key feature is the front part of the dfc500. So basically now you have these metal prongs similar to the df700. The original df500 had the plastic prongs. So it's just going to give you a lot more durability and a lot more accuracy at being metal. So all you do is click the green buttons on the sides, and these will all come out, and you can just pick which ones you want to use. So if I just push these ones in, and this will reference the edge of my board. So when I'm cutting, if I'm doing multiple cuts on the edge, I know that this is going to be my locator, and then I can just choose another one. Obviously, if I push the buttons, and I can just choose which ones I want to use if I want it to be a bit more further from the edge of the board. So really impressed with that. Like I say, the last ones were plastic. They work really well. It's just nice to have a bit more of an option of the spacings. Right, so the next key feature to the dfc500 is that now you have a bit more support on the top carriage of the machine itself. So the original df500 only had one, and now this has two support. So it definitely gives you a bit more balance, a bit more strength. So yeah, that is just an improvement they've done. Like I said, I've never really had any issues with the last one. It's just Festool making improvements with the balance and with the strength of the machine itself. Right, so just a little side-by-side comparison, which I can show you. So basically, the straight off, which I spoke about, is the prong. So with the original df500, you have the plastic prongs, and you only have one, so you can only really work from one reference point. But also you do have this part, which is a little bit more confined compared to the newer version. So the newer version, you have a bit more of an open area to see your cuts, your cut lines, your reference points. And like I said here, you have a bit more choice with the prongs. So if you want to work off the edge of your board, you've got two options basically. With the top part, which I spoke about as well, you can see that we have the double strength compared to the one on the original df500. So it's going to give it a bit more balance and a bit more comfort as well. So another thing I'd like to talk about, which I tip these back up, is turning it on. So as you can see here, we've all been caught out before turning the machine on. So when you're pushing down onto your workpiece, which you can be caught out and you can drill into your workpiece. But with the new dfc500, you have the button at the top where you just switch down, so you don't have the risk of plunging down into your workpiece. So that's another really cool feature. But like I say, usually you can just start the machine on an angle so you don't plunge into your workpiece, but it just sort of avoids the error with the switch being on there. So yeah, that is my side-by-side comparison, but two incredible machines. Just very lucky to be using the dfc500 over the next couple of months, and we can tell you a bit more in the future. So I'd just like to thank you for watching this really small review. Obviously I am a joiner, I'm a very busy carpenter joiner. Hopefully I'll get to find a bit more time to do a few more of these reviews. We've got some of the new machines to test out, the MFK and OFK Cordless versions, and the new Cordless planer, which is very exciting. So we've got plenty of tools to talk about over the next few weeks. So stay tuned, and hopefully my videos will improve, and I can show you what I'm building, because it's quite nice to show you these machines in action rather than just talking about the machine. Like I say, we're using these day to day. You can see we're big Festool fans, so I hope you can join our rides and come and watch us use some machines and build some incredible projects. Thank you very much.